G'day ladies and gents, welcome to Xrissart. I'm Chrissy, thanks for joining me. If this is the first time you visited, welcome. And if you would like to view more of my videos, please consider subscribing and perhaps give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying this video. I occasionally share ideas and painting techniques and live stream from time to time. And don't forget to click the bell icon, that way you don't miss out on any of the videos as I upload them. In this painting demonstration, or shall I say experiment, I show you how I paint with brushes, makeup brushes, synthetic brushes as well. PanPastels on Art Spectrum's Colourfix Smooth. This paper is light fast, acid free, 340 GSM or 230 pound. This colour is leaf green, and again I didn't use pastel pencils for details, as I just wanted to see how far I could go without using them. I also use masking film, as you can see here, and I'll put a link in the top right hand corner of the screen. I go into detail on how I apply the masking film on the surface. With Masket, I always say that it's a game changer and the best thing since sliced bread. So the only thing with Masket I just needed to add also is that you have to be careful when you're applying your masking film that you use a sharp blade when you're cutting and plenty of practice. That's all I can say, plenty of practice. So back to the painting, I just couldn't get enough layers to stick on the surface. The paper just wouldn't absorb the pigment I had in my brush, and it was leaving my surface very powdery, and something which I don't normally experience with pastel matte. So for me, now that I maintain now it's all about the surface in most cases. As you can see here, I'm carefully lifting the masking film. And it's terrific, as you can see, clean edges and prevents halos. So when you're doing perhaps maybe backgrounds, you don't have to worry about painting around certain subjects, which this is why I love this thing so much. So now by this stage, I was thinking I just wanted to give up, and I nearly did. In fact, I was so frustrated, I wanted to tear the piece up, but I thought I should persevere and see this to the end and see if I could learn about the characteristics of the paper and with the techniques that I used. If anything, I learnt something about myself. But I just wanted to stress that it was the only reason why I was getting frustrated, it was because I couldn't get the saturation that I normally would get as I use pastel matte, and I just couldn't get the layers that I wanted. So this is the only reason why I was getting frustrated. So for the details, I made a little paint with PanPastels. I scraped off the pigment on a waxy bit of paper and I dropped in some Zest-IT and I painted in the details this way with a little bit of paint and a fine brush. So with this method, the painting method, the only thing I have to watch out for, or the only thing you have to watch out for, is that it bleeds. And that's okay. When it dries, it turns to pastel again, and then you can keep on going with further layers. But again, like I couldn't even do that with this one. I kept running into problems with that too. I just couldn't correct my mistakes. So in summary, I thought to myself, well, you know what, just finish this and say, well, I know this technique that I normally work with doesn't work on this surface. So I did learn something. But having said all of that, I would also like to say that this is a good surface for those who apply minimal pastel layers, and it's terrific for and it's a terrific paper for coloured pencils when blending with OMS and Zest-IT. Anyway, that's something to think about, of course. So in a nutshell, I think it's a terrific idea to always experiment with different surfaces, mediums, if the wallet permits, techniques, because you just don't know what you might come up with. That's how I discovered using brushes. I would love for you to comment and tell me about your impression of this type of technique. You may have another tip or trick that you may want to share. I have one more floral painting coming up, so hopefully you can visit again. So much art, so little time.